Today I'm going to be showing you guys my recent Eren Jaeger figure from the hit anime Attack on Titan. This figure's been in the works for a while now, probably a few weeks, if not a month or two, and I'm glad he's finished, and I'm excited to show him to you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy the showcase. So here we have my custom Eren Jaeger figure from Attack on Titan. I based this figure off of his appearance in the first half of season 1 of the anime, when he's still part of the cadet corps, and painted the logos on his jacket accordingly. And obviously, because this is off of that appearance and not the Scout Regiment's appearance, he doesn't have the green Scout Regiment cape. This figure features a lot of custom sculpted elements. And obviously painted. This is only the second time I've ever tried to paint a custom face. I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, it's the first time I've ever tried to paint an anime face. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I mean, the first time I ever tried to paint a face was my custom Joker figure from The Dark Knight, and that was, for lack of a better word, atrocious. And I think I've come quite a long way since then. Then all of the elements you see here were custom painted and sculpted, with exception of his swords, or whatever they're called. I don't know, they never actually refer to them in the anime as far as I can remember. As well as the blade holsters, or whatever those are called, and the gas tanks. The gas tanks are from a tiny tactical flamethrower backpack, as well as his ODM gear, or omnidirectional mobility gear. That's made using a tiny tactical gas mask with 2 of the actual gas canisters. I added an extra one there. Then the pieces where the actual hooks shoot out of from his ODM gear were made using 2 tiny tactical silencers. I'm not exactly sure which silencers. I think they're M4 carbine silencers. And then the blade holsters themselves were made using some sheet styrene. That was it. And then the pieces around those were sculpted on and then sanded down so that they had a flat finish. Then, as you can see at the back here, his ODM gear is made using the same ball joint system that I used in my General Grievous figure. I did this instead of gluing the blade holsters and air canisters onto his legs, so that there can be some mobility there. As you can see, you can sort of move in this direction and that direction, just so that you can give him some posability options. You know, if you want to move his legs, then it doesn't impede that, as well as it doesn't scratch off the paint from friction or anything else. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. It gives you some different options. You know, if you want to move his arms to be slightly lower, you can, and you can pose those accordingly. Then the swords, or whatever you should call them, I'm not sure. The base for these was a tiny tactical Glock, which I added an extra trigger guard onto. As you may have noticed in the anime, there's 2 trigger guards. I think the one is for attaching a blade, and the other is for shooting out the hooks, or I think the one is for shooting out the hooks for the ODM gear, and the other is for air bursts. I can't exactly remember. But then the guard in the front, it's almost like the hand guard, was made using Brick Arms M67 grenade cooking handles, and then the blades themselves were made with sheet styrene and then sanded to give the notched look as well as the blade finish. Then moving on to the front of the figure, all of the details on his jacket was custom sculpted by me. Pretty happy with how it turned out. And then obviously the hair as well, I custom sculpted that. It's the first time I've tried to sculpt hair that hasn't had an incredibly realistic goal in mind. I don't know, Attack on Titan is a bit difficult because it's anime, so it's obviously animated, but it has a slightly more realistic anime style, if that makes sense, with the way the characters are drawn and, you know, pictured. So I tried to get a blend of that. I based the hair sculpt off of the Nendoroid Good Smell Eren Jaeger figure, which has a slightly more cartoonish look. I did this so that it's sort of more like Lego instead of the ultra realistic thing. I'm trying to, you know, listen to what you guys are saying, because I know not everyone likes the ultra realistic thing, so trying to listen to my followers there. Yeah, that, and then obviously this was all painted up by me. One particular detail I'd like to highlight is that emblem on the back. That was hand painted. I'm really proud with how it turned out. I think it looks fantastic in my opinion. I mean, I may be a bit biased because I didn't paint it myself, but yeah, I mean, I thought it turned out really great. I'm really happy with this figure as a whole. Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to make. You know, I loved the anime. I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and the others in the next season when it comes out next year. So thank you guys very much for watching the showcase. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you want to see more from me and get updates on all my new content, please subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Cheers.